fit, formidable, and fantastic.
Hey everyone, this is Cory McCarthy and welcome to a new episode. I am often a very pensive person, and this past week I was thinking about my veganism, and of course my life before veganism. And even though I hadn't consumed meat in the 11 years prior to my vegan awakening in 2013, I had still consumed dairy, eggs, and even honey. I can't go back and change that, And despite giving those products up in 2013, I still feel a regret for all the years that I had participated in any capacity of animal exploitation and slaughter, plus subsequent environmental destruction. And to think that I had actually once believed that being a vegetarian was good enough or taking a stand. And I see now that I was just very naive. Thus, I feel it is my current duty to make right given my previous wrongs, as if to repay some kind of moral debt. I feel a sense of obligation to the animals and to my planet, frankly. Anyway, forgive me if I ramble a bit here, but I am going to run through some thoughts that I've had, and I hope it's all very coherent and cohesive enough. To my non-vegan viewers, understand that most of us were not born vegan. We all had to come to the realization of what harm our choices were causing and assume responsibility for our actions and make a change for the better. To be adults and not act like privileged and spoiled children. You cannot undo past harms, but you can put your foot down now and make a stand for the future. To make better future choices. That is all in your power to do. So the question is, what is holding you back? If you watch this channel, then you know the truth. You know the science and the statistics. You can't claim ignorance, so it's high time to seize control.
People like to refer to vegans as being unmanly, or some variant of that insult.
But to me, there's nothing as cowardly or weak as refusing to make positive changes when faced with the reality of one's destructive ways, be it due to social reasons or just simply being incapable or unwilling to stop eating certain foods because you just enjoy the taste that much. Or whatever other selfish reasons anyone can muster, essentially emotionally driven and bereft of logic.
And please don't drop the survival scenario bullshit on me, because for most people living in the civilized Western world, those extreme situations like being marooned on a desert island or lost in some Arctic tundra or expanse of uncharted woodland are highly fucking unlikely to ever occur.
And even if they were more common, what's stopping you from making the ethical choice now? Where you're currently at, sitting at your computer, comfortable in your home or your office, in your civilized town. Just step up and make positive change. Don't resign when faced with a challenge. Don't make excuses for bad choices. Poor decision making doesn't necessarily make you a bad person, but knowingly continuing those poor decisions arguably does. So do it for the animals, for yourself, for others, for the fucking planet. Your only home.
And to my vegan viewers, be motivated by who and what you're fighting for. This is war. Channel that motivation into whatever outlet you engage in. Be it the weights, marathons, fighting, or some sort of competitive sport, or even just becoming a better, healthier, and more presentable version of you.
Why do I say this? Remember, eyes and ears are increasingly on us. We are essentially the pioneers of a movement. A very vocal movement that is gaining momentum. One that is challenging societal norms and rustling a good number of jimmies. And causing mass cognitive dissonance, basically. Given our exposure, we need to set a positive example to the world. Most people are under the impression that we are out of shape or unkept, and unfortunately, some of us are. And as with any demographic, quite possibly a majority of us. Just bear in mind, according to the CDC, more than 1/3 of the total US adult population, or approximately 34.9%, or 78.6 million people, are obese. The plant-based diet does not guarantee a healthy, fit, or trim body because even vegans can eat like total shit and let themselves go. We just need to keep in mind, since our numbers are relatively small worldwide, that we don't have the luxury of setting a bad example and in turn perpetuating negative stereotypes associated with vegans, possibly turning people away from the movement as a result. Each and every one of us counts. And like it or not, humans are a very visual species. No matter how hard some people might fight against this perceived shallowness, it is simply a part of our programming and not without biological reason. To fight that inherency is to attempt a steep uphill climb on ice while facing an oncoming avalanche. I'm not saying that appearance should be the only factor by which any person should rightfully be judged, but as a species, visuals do speak loudly, and they can persuade opinions for better or worse, and they often make the first and even lasting impressions. Thus, we should all strive to take care of ourselves and our appearances, and set an example not only with the conviction of our message, but with our appearance as a form of activism, and display some dignity.
And I'm not implying that we need to be sculpted like the gods or goddesses of antiquity to achieve this end.
But rather just by looking healthy, presentable, and dignified and kept in our appearances. To provide some perspective to my reasoning here, would you go on a job interview dressed like a slob? Or on a first date odorous and unkept? Likely not if you desire to make a good impression. And the key words there are good impression.
Bear in mind, sometimes it just takes one of us to open someone's eyes, as demonstrated here with how I recently changed the perspective of 2 prior vegan haters.
I mean, next time the person changing someone's view could be you, but will you be ready when that moment arrives? So just give some honest thoughts as to how you can make the best impression possible whenever the situation may occur. Now, I anticipate that I'm going to get some shit for saying this, especially given how fucking politically correct our society has become. So afraid of, offending this or that group of people, so much so that we even avoid the truth at times. And it's not my intention to come across as shallow or judgmental, but I feel this needed to be said. And I've justified why I feel this way. It is also against my channel's motto to promote or accept any less. Fit, formidable, and fantastic. And what the fuck is fantastic about looking like total shit simply out of lack of care or effort?
Never forget who and what we're fighting for, who and what we represent, and let that empower and motivate you to be the best version of yourself and set the best example for veganism that you possibly can.
So for all the years that any of us partook in exploitation and slaughter, I feel that we owe it to the animals and to the planet to go as beast mode as fucking possible in our ethical fight now. Be heard and be remembered. Make a significant impact and make a change. Make a good impression. And to those of you that are watching this who are vegans, thank you. Just keep looking for ways to improve the impact of your message. And that includes the messenger or you. And those of you who are watching this who have not yet taken the plunge, what the fuck are you waiting for? Just stand up and fight. Please like and share this video if you think this message should be heard. Also, do leave comments below, even just to tell me to go fuck myself if you want to and you disagree with this message. But if you do disagree, why? Provide your rationale, not just an emotional response. And don't forget to subscribe. I do release content twice a week, at least generally speaking. Otherwise, I'll see you all around in the next episode.